Good morning and welcome to yet another MindShift Monday where we talk family, finances, and just about whatever you guys want to talk about. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below so that we do know what you're thinking about. We've been going through a whole series on finances, being financially free, and also if you have any questions or comments that are pertaining especially to the financial side, that would be great. Especially for the series that we're going through right now. But today, we're going to hit up homeschooling. Here at 20 Acre Farms, we homeschool all three of our children, ages 7, 5, and 3. Today, we're going to go over the costs that pertain to homeschooling here on our homestead. It's really fun to homeschool here in South Dakota. It's a great state to homeschool in. A lot of freedom there. The way that we homeschool is we use My Father's World is the name of the curriculum. And this is a curriculum that is really based biblically, and it's a homeschool curriculum that is all-encompassing. So it really covers everything that you need for each age group. And right now it's fairly easy because we have, like I said, we have 3 younger children, 7, 5, and 3. And so it's not too difficult to just kind of follow the curriculum, and they have a really good understanding of what those age groups need, so that they keep up to date, they keep informed and educated along with every other kid that would be in the public school system. And so we feel like My Father's World is just a really great option for us. It's worked really well, even in a rural setting like where we're at. Why would you be going over homeschooling now and make that part of our financial talk? Well, the reason is, and just a little preface to all this, I don't want you to think that we're getting paid any amount of money or anything for sort of advertising, I guess, if you will, for My Father's World. We have no contact with them besides that's where we order our curriculum. But it is important that right now we bring up buying curriculums and looking at homeschooling, because if you are thinking a little bit ahead of the game and you're wanting to homeschool, or you're thinking about bringing your kids to the homeschool as far as if they're already in public school and it isn't maybe working out as you had hoped, maybe your kids are coming into the school age and you'll be homeschooling next year. Well, now is actually a really fantastic time to be thinking about what curriculum you're going to be teaching for the start of the 2018 year in the fall there. And you can get some really big price cuts on those curriculums if you order right now. So that's why we're going to go over homeschooling. We're going to go over what our costs are and some of the saving benefits if you're thinking about it right now, way before really the next year starts. Okay, so our oldest, who is 7, is considered to be sort of like in the 2nd grade is where he would be placed at. And for that full curriculum in My Father's World, for what they call the deluxe package, is $472. And that includes absolutely everything. That's all the reading books, that's student sheets, that's teacher manual. That's like they just made a package for those that are extremely rural, that just want everything shipped to their door so that they can go start to finish and have every thing that they need piece by piece to complete it all. The great thing about most homeschool curriculums, I think this goes just in general for a lot of the homeschool curriculums, it's definitely true with My Father's World, is they listed out what you're getting in that deluxe package. So if you don't need all those books and they're readily available at a library that's really close to you, then you don't need to get that big package. maybe with what you already have and what you have access to, maybe all you need is the teacher's manual and then what they call the student sheets. And so the student has all of basically the worksheets and the workbooks to fill out throughout the year. And that's a necessity. You've got to get those worksheets. And for where our oldest son is at, those are going to be about $35 to get that whole part for the student sheets. So if you're starting at 0, you're going to need a minimum. You're going to need the teacher manual and all the teacher part, and then also those student sheets. But the great thing is if you have younger kids coming up after, you're of course just going to reuse your teacher manual, and then the next year, you're just going to have that $35 for those student sheets for the kids coming up behind them. So a lot of times for that one child, your oldest child is going to be the most expensive, right? Because he's always going to be going into the new grade, and you're going to be getting him all set up for that grade. But oftentimes for the younger children that are coming up behind that child, you're going to be reusing the grade that they were in and be able to reuse all of that curriculum, all of those materials, and so it works really nice. And then for those children, they still have their own student sheets. It's not like they're writing over or trying to reuse. They have clean sheets that they're working off of, and they're just reusing the main books. So it's expensive kind of one time, and even if you have 3 children, it's really drawn out over several years because you're really only buying 1 curriculum a year instead of 3 every single year. And so homeschooling can be very affordable, and especially like if you were to buy right now, My Father's World is having a pretty significant discount on a lot of things. Some of them, like that deluxe packages, it's $368 down from $472. So right there, you can get a good discount there. Some of the other, if you look at the preschool and then the preschool that's for 3-year-olds and the preschool that they have for 4 years old, those are like at 40% discounts right now until the end of this month. So, man, if you're thinking about homeschooling, if you're thinking about picking up some of those curriculums, even if it's not My Father's World, check out the curriculums that you want to go through, because right now at the first of the year, they're probably having some really great deals for you to check into, because it's early. They're not making those sales like they would in the fall, even spring and summer. And so try to get in on some of these deals, and that's really why we're bringing all this up right now. So for us, we've already bought the pre-K, which we paid like $460 something for that deluxe package. Now that's down to like under $300 for that package. But we don't need to spend all of that money on those packages now, because we've already got those. So all we're going to buy for our younger daughters that are coming up behind our oldest son is those student worksheets. And they'll be able to use those. So we've already got all of these. You are storing, some of those packages, but you just store them in a box all together. It's not like some huge hundreds of books of whatever. So it is fairly easy to store. We keep the different grades separated, put them together. And another thing that we really make sure we try to do is those are only for school time. They don't get to pull those out all summer long. Those books, they get put away. And those are used for the school year, hoping to keep those books a lot nicer and just everything cleaner, so that when school season comes, they're excited to pull out all the books and all the curriculum and all the materials needed for that year. Another thing is you're going to find that as your child gets older, you're going to notice that your child needs help in certain areas, or they really, really accelerate in certain areas. Our son has done really well with math, and so we've gone to buying, we bought the Matthew C curriculum for a math just to see exactly where he is sitting in the math, and then making sure he's learning the concepts and not just quickly going through them and doing this other workbook that we've been in. So that's been a really great thing, but that's an added cost. The Matthew C was like $136 for that curriculum. And then we found out that he needed a little bit extra help in the spelling. So we got All About Spelling, and that total was about $50 once you kind of get everything that you need and all set up. And once we got all set up for All About Spelling, I think we ended up spending about $50. Now those two programs are going to be good for all three kids for probably up through third, even fourth grade. And so those are good for a long time, but they are an added investment there. So you are going to have to look at where your kids are at, and that's just the amazing thing about homeschooling and why we love homeschooling so much is you just really tailor everything to your child's needs, and they do so much better in that environment. And you're able to then, another thing is that we've invested in is our son was really, really big into robots, and we were able to do some studies on some robots. We built a little robot, things of that nature. So those are added costs throughout, and that's not necessarily something that you're going to buy right now, but some of that is more in the moment. You realize, hey, they're reading a lot about robots, or they just love robots. They talk about them all the time. They draw them a lot, or whatever. Let's do a whole curriculum of our own on robots, and you end up buying a little robot kit that's $50, $60. Maybe it's on rockets, or maybe it's on horses, or whatever. And so you end up kind of buying things a little bit on the spot just to tailor things to your child's needs exactly. But that is just the real beauty of homeschooling, and what a blessing it is to be able to do that for our children. Not that you can't do that in a public school setting, because you absolutely can spend that time with them after school as well. But we've just found with our kids and where we're at, homeschooling has just been a huge blessing, and our kids are really doing well. They're getting a lot out of it. So, if you're at all interested in anything about My Father's World, I'm going to leave a link for them. I'll leave a link up above here, but I'll also put one in the description below, just so you can check that out and just see if it's something that might work for you. Right now, until the end of the month, they do have just some really great savings for your family if you're interested in that. And I would highly recommend them. They've done really well for us. I don't know exactly where we'll be going as our kids get older and older and older if we'll stick with them, but we don't have to. So we can easily jump around a little bit and just tailor to whatever we need to go to and whatever we feel is best for our children. So that's pretty much all I have for this MindShift Monday. I just want to say happy homeschooling, and I hope your homeschool year is going well if it's already underway, which it well should be. And just remember, even in the mix of all the homeschooling and everything going on, which there is so much going on right now, maybe think a little bit ahead about even next year's homeschooling, looking at maybe investing in the next curriculums already. If you're able to think that far ahead, it might be worth your time and effort to do that. So thanks again for watching this episode of MindShift Monday, covering all things homeschool. Check out as we do a few, we're going to try to also do a few homeschooling videos as Bethany shows a little bit on how we do things, maybe a little different than the average family, just picking things out here and there on homeschooling, and I hope you enjoy that. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next Monday as we go through MindShift Monday.